Hello and happy weekend. Thank you for tuning in for just a moment. I'm here today to go over this week's meeting room topic that we had, living the program. I do feel the desire to say a little disclaimer that Weight Watchers has not asked me to put out, but I do want to make sure that we're very clear. With me being a Weight Watchers ambassador, every opinion that I share about the program is strictly mine, just that, an opinion. I am not speaking for Weight Watchers, but I am definitely an advocate for the program. So please, as I go over this, I will not be sharing any of the proprietary information in this bulletin. It is given to us as meeting participants, and I just don't feel it right for me to go through it line by line, but I definitely will share some insights and little things here and there, just the same as I would with any book that I love or any information that I've read online. I will share little snippets here and there and give my opinion on it. So that's what these sessions will be like from here on out. I am very enthusiastic about talking about living this program because I can honestly say that the new Weight Watchers Freestyle program has been a game changer for me. My last year was not a super successful year on the scale. It was in total, and I did see great changes, and I'm very proud of the accomplishments that I did make. But this freestyle program has now brought another element to the weight loss journey for me, and that is success on the scale. Just in the last 2 weeks, I have been fortunate enough to be down 6 pounds. And if you've seen my journey at all in the last year, you would know that that's about a quarter of what I was able to accomplish last year. Now, of course, there are many factors in that, and some of them had nothing to do with the actual program. But I will say, with whatever's happened with this program and the changes that have been made, they are working with my body and working with my challenges, and I couldn't be more excited. My favorite things and how I live the program is that I major on the rollovers, I major on the 0-point foods, and I major on using my weeklies to support my lifestyle. And so let me tell you a little bit more about how that works for me. What that looks like is my weekends are the time when I am pretty social. It is the time when I get to spend the most time with my fiance. We are social people. We are up and about and running around. We like to try new restaurants, new social situations, and that calls for more weeklies. So my natural life movement looks like heavy eating on the weekends and then not so heavy eating through the week. I can manage it a little bit more on my day-to-day. So some struggles that I had in the past was that before this new program, there was a understanding that we needed to eat every single one of our dailies every single day. And if you are not as heavy, then that probably is never a problem, especially when you're eating at the lowest, the minimum amount of points that you can get each day. But if you are heavier, like I have always been doing this program, you get a lot of points. And for some of us, it feels like too many. For some of us, it is a struggle. It's fine to eat that many points when you are just eating maybe less than healthy food. But when you start turning toward fiber-rich and filling foods and, you start getting in more fruits and vegetables and things that are sustainable, it's really hard to overeat those kinds of foods. And so back then, when we had 40-something points a day, close to 50 points a day, and beginning to turn my attention toward more healthy foods, I found that it felt impossible to eat that many points a day unless I decided to eat some junk food. And that wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do. So the beauty of this plan and the way that I'm living it well is that now they have brought those parameters in for what a blue dot healthy eating day looks like. So for me, I get 34 points a day, which feels right on point, because I have to manage it in order to make sure that I don't go over my points too much and I don't use too many of my weeklies that I want to save for my big weekend. So now I feel like I have to be strategic, which I like, and maybe some people don't, but I really like that feeling of having to be strategic about it. But my healthy eating window has changed. I don't have to eat all those points during the weekday when I'm not as hungry and I don't have enticing, richer foods to draw me in, or that bucket of popcorn at the movies, or just that fun thing that I want to do, or a craft beer that we want to try. I can eat. I can have 29 points that day or 30 points that day and be just fine and still have eaten in a healthy way, because I've eaten 0 points foods. So I major on that 0 point food list. I make it a foundation for my meals. So instead of just filling in the gaps, I have to talk about that. In the beginning, when we first started this program, I began to eat what I was normally eating and then fill in the gaps and just eat a bunch of extra food. I don't think that that's really going to work for us, because yes, the plan is designed that you can have 0 point foods, but it's kind of the same as when Weight Watchers first introduced 0 point fruits. I'm sorry, but how many of us know we cannot just sit and eat grape after grape after grape after grape all day long? Maybe you can, but my body, I can't do that. Some days I would love to, but it doesn't work out so much. So it's the same thing. Those 0 point foods, I choose to believe, were not given to us for us to continue a negative habit of gorging ourselves or eating when we're not truly hungry. I believe that they're there as like build a foundation of good 0 point foods. Start with some chicken and build your meals. And then yes, if you still feel snacky, there are plenty of days that I'll have a 0 point food when I just feel snacky. I had a super snacky week last week. I just felt like ravenous. Just like I couldn't get enough to eat. And I thought, surely I'm going to have a gain on the scale. And I lost a pound, because on those, when I felt extra snacky, I chose 0 point foods. I ended the week with still about 14 weeklies left, because when I got snacky, I didn't run for popcorn. I didn't run for things that I had to use my dailies or my weeklies for. I ran to the 0 points food list. And I love being able to work the plan in that way. So that's what freestyle is meaning for me. Like I said, I could not love it enough. I would recommend it to anybody. I did want to read this. In the clinical trials that they did leading up to the rollout of the new freestyle program, 89.4% people said that they were satisfied after their meals. 93.6% of people said that they felt healthier, and 81.6% of the people said that they feel more energized. And I can speak to that too. I feel like with this new program, because the 0 point foods are healthier foods by nature, they're protein-rich foods, many of them are fiber-rich. One of my major go-tos is the black beans. I love them. And what it also affords me to do is to use some of the non-light, non-fat-free foods that I love, like real regular sour cream. One of the things I enjoyed the most this week was bowls of black beans with a tablespoon of real regular sour cream and some Tostitos chips. And that was so satisfying, and I didn't need to run to my candy dish, or I didn't need to run to just things that weren't really something that I needed to go to, or one of my trigger foods that would have maybe caused an eating avalanche for me for the week. So and one of the last things that I want to say about living the program that I'm working on is not getting stuck with the same 0 point foods, not only just doing the non-fat Greek yogurt and the eggs constantly. but branching out, and there are 200 foods on that list. I believe over 200 foods on that list. So I would put out the personal challenge for you this week. Live the program and really get to know some more foods than just, this the things that we were super excited about in the beginning. And don't let them box you into only having to eat certain things every single day. Get adventurous. But also, I will say, don't get so focused on only eating 0 point foods that you stop eating the things that you love. I will say this lastly, and then I will let you go. One of the things that I was kind of struggling with in the beginning is that I felt like, oh my goodness, because we can eat all these eggs, because we can eat all this chicken breast, that everything has to be eggs and chicken breast. And very quickly, I began to hear in the meeting rooms and from people around, oh, I don't like this program. Oh, this program doesn't work for me. Oh, I'm so sick of eggs already. And that was like within the first 2 weeks. Well, guess what? If you don't want to eat eggs, you don't have to eat eggs. Like, you can still eat every single thing that you want. You just have to be a little bit more strategic about it. So plan it out. And the first one to tell you, I am not the big planner. I am not the big meal prep every single week. Sometimes I get, a little bit inspired, and I'll do that too. But for the most part, I'm very spontaneous. So what I would recommend is that you make sure that you have 4 to 5 of your favorite 0 point foods on hand if you're not a planner. I'm just not, other people are amazing at that. And so that is what I do, and that's what I fall back on in those times when I just feel snacky or I don't feel like making a big meal. Excuse me, I can always just whip up some of my non-fat Greek yogurt with some fruit thrown in there, and I'll sweeten it up a little bit with some stevia and call it a nice little treat, nice little snack. So I hope that you are excited about this program. I hope that you feel like it's really becoming a lifestyle for you. Let me know in the comments, you guys, how are you living the plan, and what are some things that you can begin to do? Maybe what are some of those 0 point foods? Look at that list, and you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find a link and put it in the description box. Go in there and find 1 or 2 of those 0 point foods that you haven't yet tried. And maybe let's see if we can't put some of those into our week this week and freshen things up and make this plan exciting for ourselves, and maybe try some new things, right? So I hope you'll live the program this week. I hope you got something out of this. Let me know how you like it. I'll definitely will try to do this each week going forward, and I love having you guys around. If you're enjoying my channel and the way I see it, please take a moment to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. Definitely check out that notification bell and make sure it's on so you don't miss any videos. I really love having you guys around. I'll see you soon.